You've been running on empty, haven't you? Grinding through 16-hour days, sacrificing your health, your relationships, your peace, all in the name of achieving the success you've been chasing. Perhaps you've been told that hard work is the only path to prosperity, that struggle is noble, that if you're not exhausted, you're not trying hard enough. I want you to understand something that will revolutionize your entire approach to success. The universe operates on principles that are completely opposite to what the world has taught you. While the world says work harder, divine intelligence says work smarter. While the world says struggle more, infinite wisdom says surrender more. The greatest achievers throughout history understood a secret that eludes most people. True success flows from alignment, not effort. When you align with divine principles, the universe conspires to assist you in ways that human effort alone could never accomplish. The world has convinced you that more hours equal more results, that more effort equals more success, that more struggle equals more worth. Divine intelligence operates on an entirely different economy. One where ease, flow, and supernatural assistance create outcomes that surpass anything human effort can produce. You may have noticed that your hardest working periods often produce the least satisfying results. You pour everything into a project, sacrifice sleep and sanity, only to watch someone else achieve similar results with what appears to be half the effort. This experience is the universe showing you that there's a better way. The principle of divine ease is woven throughout spiritual wisdom. Consider the lilies of the field. They neither toil nor spin, yet they are clothed more beautifully than Solomon in all his glory. This principle applies to every area of your life, including your work and success. When you operate from divine alignment, your work becomes an expression of joy rather than a burden of necessity. Ideas flow effortlessly, connections appear naturally, and opportunities present themselves without your striving. You move from pushing against life to dancing with it, understanding that inspiration trumps perspiration every single time, transforms your entire approach to achievement. When you receive a divine idea, the universe has already prepared the path for its manifestation. Your job becomes following the guidance rather than forcing the outcome. You may have experienced moments when everything clicked into place perfectly. When the right person called at exactly the right time, when solutions appeared just as you needed them, when doors opened before you even knocked. These weren't lucky breaks. They were examples of divine coordination responding to your alignment. The universe is always orchestrating circumstances for your highest good, but it requires your cooperation, not your exhaustion. When you try to force outcomes through sheer effort, you actually block the very assistance that could make your journey effortless. Another powerful principle is the law of divine timing. The universe has perfect timing for every blessing, every breakthrough, every manifestation. When you work in harmony with this timing, miracles become natural. When you work against it, even small victories require enormous effort. You may also notice that your most successful endeavors feel almost effortless while they're happening. The project that flows smoothly from conception to completion, the business idea that seems to build itself, the relationship that develops naturally, these are examples of divine coordination at work. If these principles are resonating with your spirit, I want you to comment below and declare, "I work with divine ease." When you write these words, you're not just sharing with others, you're programming your subconscious mind to recognize and attract opportunities for effortless success. Your written declaration becomes a spiritual magnet, drawing divine assistance toward your endeavors with supernatural speed. The act of writing activates a powerful shift in your energy field, transforming struggle consciousness into flow consciousness. Perhaps you've noticed that when you're stressed and forcing results, even simple tasks become complicated. But when you're relaxed and trusting the process, complex situations resolve themselves with surprising ease. This is divine intelligence responding to your state of being rather than your state of doing. The universe responds to your frequency, not your frenzy. When you operate from a place of peace and trust, you emit a vibration that attracts assistance, resources, and opportunities. When you operate from stress and force, you emit a vibration that repels the very help you need. This principle of divine ease doesn't mean becoming passive or lazy. Divine action is inspired action, purposeful, guided, and energized by something greater than your individual will. You become a co-creator with the universe rather than a solo warrior fighting against impossible odds. Consider how nature demonstrates this principle everywhere. Rivers don't struggle to reach the ocean. They follow the path of least resistance and always arrive at their destination. Trees don't strain to grow. They simply align with natural principles and reach magnificent heights. Seeds don't force themselves to sprout. They surrender to the perfect conditions and emerge in divine timing. You were designed to operate according to these same natural laws. When you align with divine principles, your work becomes as natural and effortless as breathing. Ideas flow like water, solutions appear like sunrise, and success unfolds like a flower opening to light. Learning to recognize when you're working with the universe versus working against it becomes essential for maintaining divine flow. When you're aligned with divine flow, work feels energizing rather than draining. Time seems to expand rather than contract. Solutions appear faster than problems. Resources materialize before you run out. When you're working against divine flow, everything feels like an uphill battle. Simple tasks become complicated. Time feels scarce. Problems multiply faster than solutions. Resources always seem just out of reach. These experiences are divine feedback showing you that adjustment is needed. The universe is constantly providing feedback about your alignment through your level of ease or struggle. When something flows effortlessly, you're in harmony with divine will. When something requires excessive force, you're being redirected toward a better path. This doesn't mean avoiding all challenges or difficulties. Divine ease often includes periods of growth that require courage and faith. But even these challenging seasons have an underlying current of peace when you're aligned with your highest good. You may have noticed that your best ideas come when you're relaxed, in the shower, on a walk, just before sleep. This is because divine inspiration flows most freely when your mind is quiet and receptive. Forced thinking rarely produces breakthrough insights. Understanding that the universe has infinite resources and creative solutions that surpass human imagination opens you to supernatural assistance. When you limit yourself to only what you can see or control, you cut yourself off from supernatural assistance. Divine intelligence sees solutions you cannot see, knows people you haven't met, and has access to resources you haven't discovered. When you work with this infinite intelligence, your efforts are multiplied exponentially. Perhaps you've experienced situations where you exhausted all your ideas and options, only to have the perfect solution appear from an unexpected source. This is divine intelligence demonstrating that there are always more possibilities than you can conceive. The universe delights in surprising you with solutions that are better than anything you could have planned. Your job is to remain open, receptive, and willing to receive assistance in forms you might not expect. This openness requires releasing your attachment to specific methods and outcomes. When you insist that success must come through a particular path, you limit the universe's ability to bring you something better through an unexpected route. True divine ease comes from holding your goals lightly while trusting the process completely. You know what you want to achieve, but you remain flexible about how it happens. This flexibility allows divine intelligence to orchestrate circumstances in ways that exceed your expectations. Divine ease also involves understanding the power of divine timing and seasonal cycles. Just as farmers don't plant in winter or harvest in spring, your endeavors have optimal timing for maximum results with minimum effort. Divine timing ensures that when you act, all the necessary elements are aligned for success. The right people are available, the market conditions are favorable, and your skills have developed to the level required. When you honor divine timing, miracles appear natural. You may have experienced the frustration of pushing for results before their time, only to watch similar efforts succeed effortlessly when attempted later. This is the difference between human timing and divine timing. Divine intelligence orchestrates timing with precision that surpasses human understanding. What appears to be delay is often divine preparation. What seems like rejection is often divine redirection. What feels like failure is often divine education, preparing you for greater success. When you surrender your timeline to divine timing, you discover that everything happens at exactly the right moment for maximum benefit with minimum struggle. Doors open when you're ready to walk through them. Opportunities appear when you're prepared to seize them. Success manifests when you're mature enough to handle it. Learning to work from inspiration rather than desperation creates space for miracles to unfold naturally. Desperate energy repels success, while inspired energy attracts it. When you work from a place of trust and excitement, you create space for miracles to unfold naturally. Inspiration carries divine intelligence within it. When you follow inspired guidance, you're following a path that the universe has already prepared for your success. Every inspired action is supported by infinite intelligence. You may also notice that inspired actions feel light and energizing, while desperate actions feel heavy and draining. Your emotions are divine feedback about whether you're moving with divine flow or against it. When you operate from inspiration, you find yourself in the right place at the right time with increasing frequency. Synchronicities multiply. Helpful people appear. Resources manifest. What once required enormous effort now unfolds with surprising grace. This inspired approach requires developing sensitivity to divine guidance. You learn to distinguish between the voice of fear pushing you toward frantic action and the voice of wisdom guiding you toward purposeful action. The universe speaks through peace, not pressure. Divine guidance feels expansive, not constrictive. Inspired action energizes you, while forced action depletes you. These internal signals become your navigation system for effortless success. Perhaps the most transformative understanding involves recognizing that your value doesn't come from your struggle, but from your alignment with divine purpose. The world teaches that suffering validates worth, but divine truth reveals that joy validates alignment. When you discover and align with your divine purpose, work transforms from burden to blessing. You're no longer trading time for money. You're expressing your divine nature through meaningful contribution. This shift changes everything about your relationship with success. Purpose-driven work carries supernatural assistance because you're fulfilling your divine assignment. The universe provides extraordinary support for those who are serving their highest calling. Resources, people, and opportunities appear to support your divine mission. You may have noticed that when you're operating within your purpose, even long hours feel energizing rather than exhausting. This is because you're working with your divine design rather than against it. You're swimming downstream with the current of your natural gifts. Consider how every great achievement in history flowed from someone aligning with their divine purpose, rather than simply working harder than others. The greatest inventors, artists, leaders, and innovators succeeded because they discovered their unique assignment and surrendered to it completely. Your divine purpose holds the key to effortless success because it aligns your human efforts with infinite intelligence. When what you do matches who you are, Miracles become natural outcomes rather than rare exceptions. Another essential aspect of divine ease is learning to receive as gracefully as you give. Many people exhaust themselves because they refuse to accept help, support, or assistance. Divine flow requires both giving and receiving in perfect balance. The universe is constantly offering you assistance through people, circumstances, and opportunities. When you refuse this help out of pride or independence, you force yourself to carry burdens that were never meant for you alone. Perhaps you've noticed that your most successful periods included unexpected assistance from others. Someone provided exactly what you needed at exactly the right moment. This is divine intelligence working through human channels to support your success. When you remain open to receiving help, you allow the universe to work through multiple channels to assist your endeavors. Closed hands cannot receive new gifts. Proud hearts cannot recognize divine assistance. Stubborn minds cannot receive helpful guidance. True divine ease comes from understanding that you're part of an interconnected web of divine intelligence. Your success doesn't depend solely on your individual efforts, but on your willingness to participate in the larger divine plan. This participation includes being willing to help others when guided to do so, and being willing to receive help when it's offered to you. The same divine intelligence that assists you through others will assist others through you. You are not imagining the possibility of a better way. You are not being naive about the power of divine ease. You are being prepared, positioned, and propelled toward a completely new relationship with success, one that honors both achievement and peace, both productivity and joy. But understanding these principles without applying them changes nothing. Divine intelligence is offering you a partnership that will revolutionize your results while restoring your well-being. You must choose to trust this better way enough to release the old way of struggle and strain. The invitation is clear. Stop working so hard and start working so smart. Stop pushing against life and start dancing with it. Stop exhausting yourself and start energizing yourself through alignment with divine flow. Your success is not dependent on your struggle. It's dependent on your surrender to the intelligence that created the universe and placed specific gifts within you for a divine purpose. Declare with absolute faith, I work with divine ease and receive supernatural results. My efforts are blessed, my timing is perfect, and my success flows naturally from my alignment with infinite intelligence. I am a co-creator with the universe, and through divine alignment, extraordinary results flow effortlessly.